4 months after its official launch and nearly a year after it was tabled in Parliament, the National School Nutrition Policy is moving from paper to practice. But as government pushes training and reform, key gaps remain, from funding and staffing to enforcement on the ground, raising questions about how quickly Jamaica's children will see real change in what ends up on their plates. Sandy Williams reports.
The National School Nutrition Policy is no longer theoretical. According to Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton, implementation has begun cautiously. Training is now underway in select schools, with cafeteria operators being guided by an executive chef employed by the Ministry of Health. But the minister admits the real challenge lies ahead.
Having had the support of the government towards this direction, the issue now becomes execution on the ground.
Dr. Tufton is also issuing a direct warning to food manufacturers and suppliers who profit from Jamaica's school system, urging reformulation, reduced sugar, and healthier options.
And unhealthy foods are not the only source of imports. You can find healthier options. In any event, moderate, give a mix so that our children can grow in an environment where they can develop and that we don't place them at a disadvantage early based on unhealthy consumption in the school system.
Medical professionals say training alone won't fix the problem. UNICEF Youth Health Ambassador Dr. Lisa Schaaf argues the policy will fail without full-scale coordination inside schools.
Policy without implementation makes no sense.
She says schools urgently need nutritionists, trained staff, informed principals, engaged teachers, and school nurses fully looped into the process, alongside regulated vendors, physical activity, and even school farming. And now, external pressures threaten to slow momentum. The recent impact of Hurricane Melissa and post-disaster recovery has placed additional strain on an already tight budget with no prior funding for school nutritionists.
Right now, budget is a big thing because we're really in the recovery stage of a Category 5 hurricane. So things are going to take some time, but we're happy for the progress and we just have to just continue pushing and just continue prevailing.
Meanwhile, international partners are stepping in to fill local gaps.
And at this point, the UNICEF Jamaica is leading the task to have a school nutritionist in the Ministry of Education to work within the school feeding unit to help to support that director in guiding how we go about our school nutrition policy and implementation at a school level, how our bursars are guided for purchasing, our principals are properly informed, and just general nutrition education that only can be given really by a trained nutrition professional.
But the reality is stark. There is still no established post for dietitians in schools, and while committees are meeting and consultations continue, full implementation remains incomplete. Sandy Williams, TVJ News.
It is time for a break, but stay with us, more stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. Custos of St. James Bishop Conrad Pitkin is urging newly appointed justices of the peace to make their presence known in their communities. Bishop Pitkin says residents in some areas of the parish are unaware of who their local justice of the peace is, raising concerns about accessibility and community service. He issued the warning during the recent commissioning service for 28 JPs in St. James, noting that the parish has a sufficient number of justices of the peace.
You're asked not about your availability where you work. You're asked about the availability where you live and how accessible you would be. So may I remind you, distinguished justices of the peace, this JP thing that post nominal behind the name in front of where we put it in. It's not. It's about service to Jamaica. Don't wait for people to come find you. announce yourself that you're a new justice of the peace in the community in which you live.
It's now time for the Business Minute.
The Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, JMEA, will shortly relaunch its Buy Jamaican campaign in a bid to strengthen the manufacturing sector. The industry now accounts for about 9% of GDP and employs roughly 85,500 people, down sharply from the 1970s and 80s when it contributed more than 20% of GDP and supported about 165,000 jobs. The campaign, to be launched later today by JMEA Vice President Cecil Foster, will highlight manufacturing's role in economic growth, job creation and long-term resilience. Further afield, Uber is ordered to pay $8.5 million to a woman who claimed a driver for the company raped her. Jalen Dean's lawsuit against the rideshare giant came after a 2023 ride in Arizona. It's also seen as a federal bellwether case for the more than 3,000 pending sexual assault and sexual misconduct lawsuits against Uber. Uber plans to appeal the verdict, according to a spokesman. The company says nearly 100% of its rides happen without incident and maintain it is still among the more safe ways to get somewhere. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Shane Masters.
Thank you, Shane. Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, is urging Antigua and Barbuda to strengthen oversight of state-owned enterprises, warning that weak capacity and limited transparency could pose fiscal risks. In its latest article for review, the IMF welcomed recent steps to improve monitoring, but said the unit within the Ministry of Finance remains understaffed and under-resourced. The fund stressed that regular financial reporting by state-owned entities is critical to improving transparency, accountability, and economic management. And on the international scene, French authorities have charged 4 people, including 2 Chinese nationals, over an alleged plot to intercept sensitive military data. Police say the group rented an Airbnb to capture satellite intelligence and later seized computer equipment linked to satellite dishes. 2 suspects are in custody, with prosecutors investigating the suspected transfer of information to a foreign power. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Aliyah Bryant.
Thank you, Alia. We now head to our final break, but when we come back, we'll have your Midday Sports Report.